शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष मां 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 शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर
ॐ शारदा शारदाम्भोजवदना वदनाम्बुजे सर्वदा सर्वदा अस्माकं सन्निधिं क्रियात् शङ्खारूपेण मच्चित्तं पङ्कीकृतमभूद्यया किङ्करीयस्य साम्हाय शङ्कराचार्यमाश्रये ॐ भारती करुणापात्रं भारती पदभूषणम् भारती पदमारूढं भारती तीर्थमाश्रये विद्या विनय संपन्नं वीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्त तत्त्वज्ञं विदुशेखर भारतीं तद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Thank you all for joining us for the Lalitha Sahasranama lecture as part of the Vande Vidya Shankaram series from Sringeri Vidya Bharati Foundation North. This is the 19th lecture, and Mr. Sundaresan Subramanian Guruji will start the lecture. Go ahead, Mama. Thank you.
गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कपित्तजम्बूफलसारभक्षितं Umasutam Soka Vinashakaranam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambam, Sankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmat Acharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam, Vasudeva Sutam Devam, Kamsa Chanura Maddanam, Devaki Paramanandam, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. सर्वमंगल मांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते ओम श्री मात्रे नमः ओम श्री अन्नदाय नमः ओम श्री वसुधाय नमः ओम श्री सचामर रमावाणी सभ्य दक्षिण सेविताय नमः ओम श्री कटाक्ष किंकरी पुत कमला कोटि सेविताय नमः ओम श्री शिव सत्या ऐक्य रूपिण्ये नमः ओम श्री ललितांबिकाये नमः ओम श्री 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 शांतानंद अवधूत सद्गुरवे नमः ओम शक्ति ओम पराशक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम पराशक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम पराशक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम पराशक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम शक्ति ओम नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव. Namaskaram to all. Welcome to session number 19 of Lalitha Sahasranama in this long series under the Vande Vidya Shankaram program of the Sringeri Vidya Bharati Foundation, SVBF North. At the start, I want to wish you all very happy New Year and happy Pongal and Makar Sankranti. We are at the beginning of a very auspicious period. So let me say a few words about the festival of Pongal and Makar Sankranti. You know, in our, what do you call, the Sanatana Dharma, festivals are an essential part. It is a part of our ancient tradition that brings joy and most relevant to our Dharma. Makar Sankranti is the first major festival every year. It's referred to as the harvest festival, as you know, because this is the time when the harvesting is complete. And this is the day we acknowledge all those who assisted in making the harvest. And it is a festival dedicated to Surya, the sun god. We praise Surya for helping us to grow crops and stay healthy. It also marks an auspicious period called Uttarayana. Uttaram means north. From Makar Sankranti day, the sun starts traveling northwards and the days get longer. Very good. Nowadays, we have the sunset around 4:30 here. It will become much better. Now, Sankranti comes from the word Sankramana, which means transit. And here it is the transit of sun in the celestial path. The time when the sun moves from one constellation of zodiac to another, that is called Sankranti. And the Capricorn zodiac is called Makara in Sanskrit. So this occasion is called Makara Sankranti in the Indian context. And various people around the world celebrate in various ways. We have Pongal, we have Lori, we have Makar Sankranti, and people call it with different names. And in Maharashtra, for example, they celebrate by saying Til Gul Gyani God Bola. It means take Til Gul, Til and Jaggery together, and you talk sweetly. It's a very nice way of greeting somebody. But the point here is the ancestors knew all these. They had such an excellent knowledge of astronomy. They formulated the Panchangam, Panchangam, the Tithi, the lunar phase, and the Varam, the Nakshatra, the Yogam, the auspicious and inauspicious period, and the Karana. They predicted eclipses accurately without the aid of computers, not even calculators. It was all manual. I remember the days in the villages, there used to be a person coming and reading the Panchangam every day. And he used to be subsidized by the village people for living. So that is the greatness of Hindu heritage. And the Sanatana Dharma is like a tree which supports it. So I think on this particular day, we should remember the ancestors and see how so beautifully they have done this, and all the festivals marking the connectivity with communities and making sure that everybody is happy. So that is the greatness of Sanatana Dharma. Now coming to our session now, in the last session 18, we had completed up to verse 170. I think Nama 922. And we are now continuing the longest part of Lalitha Sahasranama called Vibhuti Vistaram and Marga Bedam. I mentioned it at the beginning. It covers the infinite glorious forms or manifestations of Lalitha Devi. As usual, I'll share the slides with you, and then we can start with the Dhyana Slokam and go on to the regular slokams with the meanings. Oh, just give me a second to share the screen. Here we are. So today is January 15th, yes. Okay, you can start the Dhyana Slokams. You can chant along with me. Just visualize Ambal as you see in the picture, so colorfully done. Sindhurarna Vigraham, Trinayanam, Manikya Mauli Spurate, Tara Nayaka Shekaram, Spitamukim, Abhina Vachoruham, Panibhyam Alipuna Ratna Sashakam Raktot Palam Bibratim, Saumyam Ratna Gatastha Rakta Charanam, Jayet Param Ambikam, Arunam Karuna Tarankitakshim Tritapasankusa Pushpa Bana Chapam, Adimati Biravritam, Mayukahi Rakabitve Bhavaye Bhavanim, Jayet Padmasanastam, Vikasita Padanam Padma Patraya Dakshim, Hemabam Pitabastram, Karakalitalasath Hema Padmambarangim, Sadvalankariptam, Satatam Abedam, Bhattanam Ram Bhavanim, Sri Vidyam Shantamurtim, Sakala Surunatam, Sarva Sampat Pradhatrim, Sa Kunkuma Vilepanam, Adikushamba Kasturikam, Samanta Hasidechanam, Sasarachapa Pasha Ankusham, Asesha Janamohinim, Marunamalya Bhushambaram, Japa Kusuma Basuram, Japa Vidostaredam Bikam. So that is the beautiful Dhyana Slokam. And with the Dhyana Slokam, you visualize Ambal as we go further with the slokams. So going further, we will start with the slokam number 171 and Nama 923. I'll, as usual, recite the slokam and then we will go to the meanings of every Nama. Dakshina Dakshina Ratya Darasmera Mukhambuja Kaulini Kevalanarkya Kaivalya Padadayini. Dakshina Dakshina Ratya. Actually, it is split as Dakshina and Adakshina. The Sanskrit word Dakshina may mean either south or right. The Dakshina Desham is south, but also means right. Adakshina is just the opposite meaning. And Sanskrit is such a beautiful language that you have to just only add a to get the opposite meaning, like Nyaya, Anyaya, Krama, Akrama. You know, it is so nice. So, Adakshina is just the opposite meaning, which means north or left. Aradhya means, Aradhana, you know, worship. Aradhya means worship. Devi is worshipped by right and left hand. Dakshina also refers to the offering of a gift. We give Dakshina to the priest, right? Representing one of the various services In this case, it is the upachara of a puja. First, we must understand what is meant by achara, the method of worship. Sarvagamanam achara pratamam parikalpate, says Vishnu Sahasranama. Achara came first. It is a way, a custom, or a practice of sadhakas, worshippers. Now, there are different kinds of worshippers, The Kularnava Tantra, quoted by Bhaskaraya, says there are 7 different kinds of worshippers in their order of superiority. The first being the lowest, Vedachara, the Vaishnavachara, Saivachara, the Dakshinachara, Vamachara, Siddharthachara, and Kaulachara, which is the highest of all, Kaulachara. So Dakshinachara is the pure kind, and it's called right-handed worship. The left hand is always considered impure. So the Dakshinachara, which is the right-handed worship, that is a pure kind. The opposite is the left-hand worshippers called Adakshinachara or Vamachara, as it's called. So there are specific methodologies of these kinds of worship. Let's not go into the details because it will be too detailed. Those who follow the Dakshina Varga mode of worship, the right-handed, are called Dakshinas or Panditas, you can say. And those who follow the Vama Marga, the left-handed, are called Vamana. Ambal, is the Vama Bhagam of Shiva. She is occupying the left of Shiva. Ardhanarishwara, there you see. So Devi is worshipped by both Dakshinachara and Vamachara methods. This is what is meant by Dakshina, Adakshina, Aharadhya. She is worshipped by both methods. But there are also different other methods. Dakshina has got other meanings. Dakshina also means wise men, Panditas. And opposite, Adakshina means foolish men. And Ambal is worshipped by both wise people, Pandita, and also foolish people. A lot of people who don't know anything, but still they worship. So this has a meaning that she is worshipped by all. Whether you are wise or you are not wise, both people are worshipped. Here there is a nice quotation from Bhagavad Gita. I want to tell you that. It is actually in chapter 7, 16 verse. It describes 4 kinds of worshippers, Chatur Vidya Pajante Mam Janaha Sukrito Arjuna. Chatur Vidya Pajante Mam Janaha Sukrito Arjuna. Arto Jigya Sur Artarti Jnani Cha Paradarshava. Krishna says 4 kinds of people worship me. Chaturvida bhajante mam. Who are they? Oh, Arjuna, he says. One is the distressed people, the seekers of knowledge, the seekers of wealth, Artarthi Jnani, and the Jnanis themselves, Jnani cha. Those who follow knowledge, those who follow wealth. Artarthi, Artha means following the, Dharmartha, we say that. Artha is those who seek knowledge and those who seek wealth. And Jnani is the wise. Jnani cha, Bharatarshapa, oh best of Bharatas. So in a nutshell, this Nama also says Devi is worshipped by all kinds of people, irrespective of whether they are wise and they are not wise. She is worshipped by everybody. Dakshina, Adakshina, Aradhya. Going to the next Nama, which is 924, Darasmera Mukhambuja. In Sanskrit, the poets compare the face, hands, feet of all deities to lotus, Tamara Pushpam. Many of you may know, in Bala Bhukutastakam, there is a very nice slokam. Kararavindena padaravindam mukharavinde vinivesayantam vatasya patrasya pute sayanam palam mukundam manasa smarami. You might have seen the picture of a baby Krishna on a leaf, which is a banyan leaf, a big leaf, and he will put his mouth, he's put his foot in the mouth, the toe. You must have seen it. It's a Balam Mukundam. So, Karara Vindena Padara Vindam. Aravinda means lotus, Tamarapu. So, this loka means my mind, Manasas Marami. My mind remembers the beautiful Bala Mukundam. Bala Mukundam Manasas Marami. Who with his lotus-like hands, Karara Vindena, Padara Vindam, puts a toe in his lotus-like mouth. Mukhara Vinde Vinivesayantam. He puts his toe in his lotus-like mouth and he is resting. Vatasya patrasya pute sayanam. Vatam means the banyan tree. Patram means the leaf. And he is resting on the banyan leaf. Where else can you find this such a beautiful slokam, right? So there is a tradition, I think, comparing everything so beautiful with lotus. So here, Ambal's face is compared to lotus, a Mukhambuja. We all know Mukham means face, and Ambuja is lotus. Ambuja is that which is born from water. Ambuja. So she is having a face like lotus. And what does Dara mean? Dara means, Kilinjal in Tamil they say, conch shell, what you find in the beach. It is shining like silver. You must have seen it. And Smera, smiling. Dara Smera Mukhambuja means Devi whose lotus face is filled with smiles. And how does the smile look like? The teeth is bright, shining like white conch shell. And the face is always gracious. Even during the times of the great deluge, her face remains shining. When Shiva performed the cosmic dance during the Pralaya, Devi remains as a witness without showing any signs of fear. She continues to smile and she's ever pleasant and smiling to devotees. Just imagine. Mantasmita Prabhapura Majjat Kame Samanasa says Lalitha Sahasranama, right? Smita means, some people keep the name of Smita also. Whether they have a smiling face or not, that's a different question. But name is beautiful. Smita means smile. Mantasmita. Mantasmita means a gentle smile. Devi is always putting a special, soft, gentle smile. Such a beautiful nama. There is a saying in English, face is the index of mind. If your mind is calm and peaceful, it shows up on the face. And chanting Lalitha Sahasranama is one way to keep your mind calm. So why not we get an inspiration from these namas of Ambal to keep a smiling face? There is no cost involved in a gentle smile, right? But unfortunately, you can see many people keep a face as if they have taken castor oil. When I was a child, I used to be forced to take castor oil, and the face used to turn so ugly. Why should they keep it? They should see their face in the mirror and say how they look like to others. No harm in keeping a gentle smile. Let's take an inspiration from Mukhambuja. That is the greatness of Lalitha Sahasranama. Next name is Kaulini Kevala. 925. Pure and worship by the devotees of Kula. Kaulini is those people who follow the Kaula Marga. If you remember, we have this name earlier also. Kulangana, Kulantasta, Kaulini, Kulayogini. There is a reference to Kaula Marga in this nama. Also, you have another one, Klinkari, Kevala, Gukha, Kaivalya, Patadajini. We get the name Kevala. What is meant by Kevala? You say Tamil Kevala means what? Kevala means not something derogatory. It means without any attributes. Kevala means devoid of all attributes or free from pleasure and pain. In Shiva Sutra, Shiva is named as Kevalin, who is freed from pain and pleasure. Kevalin. So the word Kevala is really used to signify Jnanam. The name indicates Kaulinis, those who follow Kaula Marga, they get established in Jnanam or the real self, and they are free from pleasure and pain. So that is Kaulini Kevala. So those who follow the Kaula Marga, and Kaulini is those who follow the Kaula Marga. And Ambal is free from any pains, Kevala, or pain or pleasure. She is so neutral. Another interpretation is that Kevala means she is one without a second. There is nobody else. She alone exists. This interpretation is also given by Bhaskaraya. So going further, Nama 926, Anargya Kaivalya Padadajini. Anargya. Anarga means priceless, unlimited. Kaivalya Pada. There are different stages of salvation, and Kaivalya Pada is the fifth state of salvation. Patanjali, the great Maharishi of Yoga Sutra, he says, Kaivalyam Dharma Dharminaha Purushasya. The interpretation of the sutra is the freedom of liberation is the very substance or the being. It is not to be attained, not that you experience something new. That liberation is the very nature of the being. In Kaivalya stage is already embedded in the soul, but the efforts are not initiated to realize it. And yoga, the real yoga, not the one you find today in the shopping centers, which only teach you exercises, but that is not the real yoga. The real yoga comes from the root used to connect. Connect what? Connect you with we have got Atma here, which is Jivatma, which is to connect the Jivatma to Paramatma, the Almighty. So yoga, real yoga, teaches the path on how to reach this final stage of salvation. So Anargya Kaivalya Padadajani, Ambal is the one who gives the abode of what? Of priceless salvation. Priceless, Anarga. Such a great gift you get. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Stotra Piya Stutimati Sruti Samsutava Ibhava Manasvini Manavati Maheshi Mangala Kritihi. Stotra Priya, of course, is very easy to understand. What it means is Ambal is very fond of praising. Stotra Priya. Basically, stotras fall into two categories. One is describing the qualities of the Laukika way, as the worldly people say, Namaskara Asija Chittanta Kodi Parakramaha Vibhuti Prarthana Cheti Shadvidam Strotra Lakshanam. 6 kinds of praises. Namaskara. Namaskara, it's salutation. Asi. Tat Asi cha. Asi means blessings. Ashirvadam சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? Siddhantokti. Siddhantokti is praising the attainments. Oh, you are a great person, you achieved this and so on. Parakramaha. Parakramaha is something valor. We are praising the valor or exploits of somebody, as if somebody has claimed Mount Everest. The next one, the Vibhuti, which is rehearsing the glory. Prarthana. Prarthana is a prayer for prosperity. Cheti Shat Vidam, Srotra Lakshanams, 6 characteristics of praising. See, the other refers to the divine stotra. This is all Laukika. The Daivika is rehearsing the attributes and forms of deities about whom mantras are chanted. For example, there are many stotras in Lalitha Sahasranama, like the name Sri Jagat Vandya. She is worshipped in the 3 worlds. Mithya Jagadadhishtana. She is the refuge, cause and refuge for the illusory. Mithya means illusory universe. Speaks of the Devi's glory. Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Swarupini. So these are all so great divine attributes of Ambal. They are the different kind of stotras. But Ambal is very fond of praise by verses like in Devi Mahatmyam, which I hope I would get the blessing and opportunity to speak on subsequent to this Lalitha Sahasranama. It's one of the greatest praises. Or Vedic verses like Sri Suktam, Durga Suktam. These are all about the deities, Ambal. She is very fond of these praises, these kind of stotras. The other meaning given by Bhaskar Raya is stotra, means the waters are to be praised. Which are the waters? They mean here Devas, Pitrus, men and Asuras. In Veda says, Apo va idam sarvam. Apo is water. Apo va idam sarvam. All is indeed water. Therefore, Bhaskara interprets that Devi likes the Devas, Pitrus, men and Asuras who all praise her. All 4 kinds of. So that is another interpretation which is given by Bhaskaraya. Okay, next Nama is Tutimati, 928 Nama. She is the recipient of praise. She receives the praise. This is actually a sequel to the other Nama. If Ambal is worshipped with praise, one gets Mati. Mati means knowledge. You call Madiman, right? Malayalam also the word Madi is used for intelligence. Stuti, it means Stuti by praising her, one gets Mati. If you say, I praise Ambal by Stuti, you get knowledge. And that is a benefit to this. One gets Mati. There's also interpretation. If you split Mati into Mati, elongate a little bit, Mati is knowledge and E is wealth. If you split up Mati into Mati, and so you get not only knowledge but also wealth. So this is another interpretation by Bhaskaraya, which is I think very appropriate, because by chanting Lalitha Sahasranama, you not only get knowledge but you also get wealth, and people have experienced it. So the next Nama, 929, Shruti Samstuta Vaibhava. Shruti is what? Shruti is what is heard, right? What is heard? What was heard? Vedas. Vedas are called Shrutis. Shrutis and Smritis. Shruti, what was heard by the rishis, is Vedas. It is without a human author. They were all heard, and that is why it's called Shruti. And Samstuta is experience. Oh, this Nama means Devi's glory is celebrated through Vedas. Sharira Purushaha, Chanda Purusho, Veda Purusho, Mahapurushaha. The Kurma Puranam is being quoted by Bhaskar Raja. It says, Devi has got 4 Shaktis. They are declared as her own nature. And she is the support of these four Shaktis. What are these? One is Shanti, peace. Second is Vidya, which is knowledge. And third is Pratishtha. Pratishtha means fixity. And Nivritti. Nivritti is restraint. Lord Shiva is said to be four-formed. And by these four Shaktis, the Supreme Lord, he enjoys his own bliss. We have the popular verse which says Shiva is the source of knowledge of Vedas, Upanishads, and Viks. You all know it. It's all very familiar. Shruti Smriti Puranam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpatam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Very popular verse. Those who are connected with Adi Shankara, they all know this verse. What does it mean? I am prostrating to Lord Shiva, who is causing welfare to the Shankaram, Loka Shankaram. He is causing welfare to the entire universe. Who is the storehouse of the divine knowledge of Vedas? Shruti, Smriti. Shruti is first one. Smriti is the next one. Shruti, Smriti, Purana is also the storehouse of knowledge of Upanishads, Puranam, Alayam, Karunalayam. And he is the embodiment of mercy, Karunalayam. What a beautiful two-lined verse, right? If you know the meaning, you enjoy it even more. So that this Shruti Samskrita Vaibhava means that Ambal Gauri is celebrated in the Vedas. Let's go to the next one, Manaswini, 930 Nama. Manas is mind. Manas is mind. Ambal has got an independent mind. She's intelligent, so Manaswini. And the next one is Manavati, 931, which means gracious-minded. Devi has got a mind of very high moral value. In Tamil also we say Manam, isn't it? Manam Vetkam appadinu solluva. Manam means one should be proud of themselves. It's got a high moral value, right? Opposite of Manam is Avamanam, right? So this actually comes from the Sanskrit word Manam. Manavati. She is one who has got a very high moral value. It also, Mana means elevation of mind. She forgives sin. Gracious mind. So she is called Manavati. And she is also Maheshi, next term, Mama, who is the spouse of Mahesha. Devi Puranam says, Maheshasya Vaduryasmad Maheshi Tena Sasmrta. So she originated from Mahadeva, Maheshasya Vadu. She is the wife of Mahesha. Vadu means what? Partner. She is wife of Mahesha. Maheshasya Vadu Yasmat Maheshi. That is why she is called Maheshi. So she is also addressed as Maheshwari, right? Some people have the name as Maheshwari. And the last Nama in this verse is Mangala Kritihi. Mangalam, is auspicious. Kritihi means appearance. So Devi is of auspicious appearance. You look at this picture anywhere, she is of auspicious appearance. You feel inspired by her appearance. Okay, let's move on to 173 slokam. Vishwamata Jagattatri Visalakshi Viragini Pragalpa Paramodara Paramoda Manomayi. It's a beautiful verse. Vishwamata, very easy to understand. Vishwa means universe. Mata means mother. Because of being Vishwamata, she is Sri Mata, very first Nama and Lalitha, Sri Mata. You start with Sri Mata, right? So she is Vishwamata. Jagattatri, next Nama. The root Da means to bear. Like Gangadhara, Shiva is holding Ganga is Gangadhara, Jadadhara, right? So that means to bear. See, Jagatdatri means she is bearing the entire world, supporter of the world. She is called by the wise, the sustainer of the universe. Jagatdatri. And she's also Visalakshi. Next one. Nama 936. Vishalam means large. Right? She is Visalakshi. Those who go to Kashi, you know, right? They have this Visalakshi name like Kamakshi, Meenakshi, Visalakshi. It's all describing the eyes. Padma Purana says, Varanasam Visalakshi. She is the deity worshipped in Kashi or Varanasi. In Saundara Lahari, you know, you have a couple of verses, right from 52 to 57, which describe Ambal's eyes, extols eyes. I think one should really read Saundara Lahari as a sequel to Lalitha Sahasranama to understand the beauty of Ambal as described. So Visalakshi. Viragini. Viragini means Vairagyam. You know, Vairagyam means freedom from all worldly desires. And Viragini means dispassionate. She is not connected with any passion, dispassionate. Pragalpa. Pragalpa means brave and strong. She is strong. The action of creation, sustenance, destroying everything. Paramodhara. Para, I mentioned it before, means supreme, like Parameshwaran, right? Supreme. There's nothing more about that. Para means supreme. Udara means great. Devi is great in space and time. She gives supreme bliss also. So Paramodhara. Paramoda. What is Paramoda? Para means supreme, I said. Moda means joy. It's absolute joy. Sheer joy. Delight. Supremely delightful. Embodiment of supreme joy. That's what Paramoda means. Manomai. Mana, I told you, is mind. Devi is mind. That the pure Brahman is to be fixed in the mind. Manomai. Mind is the chief instrument. This is also explained by a small verse. Manasaiva anudrashtavyam neha nanasti kinchana. Through the mind only, manasaiva anudrashtavyam, it is to be realized, which that it is the Brahman. There is no difference whatsoever in it. By mind alone, it can be seen. So Manas is the chief instrument creating self-knowledge or realization. Next verse is 174. Vyomakeshi vimanastha vajrini vamakeshwari panchegya priya panja preda manjadishayini. Vyomakeshi. Vyomakeshi. Keshi, you know. Kesam means hair. Vyomakeshi means one whose hair is the sky or ether. The ether becomes Devi's hair. How can it be? She is the wife of Vomakesha. Vomakesha is Shiva. So she happens to be the wife of Vomakesha. Therefore, she is also having the hair as the sky, ether. No black hair, no gray hair, no silver hair. It is just the ether. As also means, Vyomaka means small. This interpretation Bhaskaraya gives. Isi is ruler. Small, like atom, and Isi is ruler. She is the ruler of even atoms. That is another interpretation given Bhaskaraya. Vimanastha. Vimanam, is one which flies, right? Like airplane is called Vimanam. Vimanastha. She is the one who's residing in that celestial vehicle or chariot. Vimanastha. The Devas who remain in the celestial chariot. She is not different from them. Bhaskaraya is so good, he interprets it in many, many different ways. This one, he says, we, mana, we is much, and mana is protection of devotees. Ista is engaged. So she is engaged in the protection of her devotees is one meaning. Another one, very interesting. Vi means much, ma is light, Ana's chariot, and Sta is residing. So she remains in radiant chariots, such as the Kiri Chakra and so on. One more interpretation is vi, without, it means without life or without limitation. And it's unconditioned Brahman. Sta is residing in that. She limits the principles without any limitation. And lastly, vi is much, ma is measure. Mop you say in Hindi, right? Ma is measure. And Vimana means to establish a decision. Like you have Vimana, scriptures, Sta remains. So she is described in the Vedas. Vimana, proof which is not opposed to the Vedas. Devi remains in the nature of Dharma or Vimana, which are the 14 Vidyas. So 4 different interpretations given by Bhaskaraya. Next Nama is Vajrini. Vajraidam, right? I've heard of it, Vajraidam. Vajraidam is the powerful weapon which Indra has. It's a thunderbolt. There is a story that Rishi Dadichi, he gave up his body to Indra so that his bones could be used by Indra to make Vajraidam, a strong weapon, to kill the evil Vritra. In fact, Indra, he insulted Rishi Dadichi, but Rishi Dadichi was so gracious when Indra approached him to give his bones to make a weapon, he willingly gave up his body. Such is the greatness of rishis, Even Adi Shankara, when Kapala, these people who wanted his head, he said, you take it, Kapala. All this Durmadam that existed at the time of Adi Shankara, he was so gracious, you take my head. So here, Dadichi gave his body to collect his bones and make the Vajraita. And Shiva is also known as Vajra. Vajra is very strong. And being the wife of Shiva, Ambal is called his consort Vajrini. Vajrini suggests that Lalitha Amba is bearing Vajraita in hand or adorned with jewels which are called Vajra. Vamakeshwari. Vamakeshwari, Vama has many meanings. Beautiful, splendid Shiva. Vamakeshwara. Here it is the name of a tantra. As I mentioned, Vama are those who follow the Vama path. They don't follow the Yajnas, Pancha Yajnas they don't follow. Vamakeshwara Tantra is a very important tantra for Sri Vidya worship. So this tantra, discusses internal worship of Shakti called Vamakeshwari. So since they are followed by Vama, it's called Vamakeshwari. The next one is Pancha Yajna Priya. Devi is fond of 5 yajnas. According to the Vedas, there are 5 different yajnas, sacrifices. One is Agnihotra, Darshapurna Masa, Chatur Masya, Pasubandha, and Soma. The Smriti is referred to 5 yajnas. Deva Yajnam, Pitru Yajnam, Brahma Yajnam, Bhuta Yajnam, and Manushya Yajnam. They are called Pancha Maha Yajnas. Deva Yajna is meant to be appease the Devas, and Brahma Yajna, which we do. Actually, one is supposed to do Brahma Yajna every day. But the knower of the Vedas, Pitru Yajna is meant for ancestors, our Pitrus. And Bhuta Yajna for animals and other living beings. And Manushya Yajna for men, Atithis. So these are the 5 Yajnas, Pancha Maha Yajnas. Also in Agrihotram, the offering Ahuti is made in 5 different Homokundams. They are also called Pancha Yajnam. And Chandogya Upanishad also talks about 5 types of sacrifices which really cause the birth of human beings. They are offered by Devas as sacrifices. First, Devas offered water as an offering, from which appeared Soma. Soma means not Soma Sundaram, but moon. Soma is short name here, but Soma really means moon. They offered Soma as a second oblation, from which appeared rain. And they offered that water as third oblation, and then appeared food. They offered food as the fourth sacrifice, and that appeared the fluids of procreation. These fluids of procreation was the fifth oblation, and then appeared the fetus. So that is the 5 types of sacrifices in a sequence that cause the birth of human being. Chandogya Upanishad chapter 5 and verse 4.9 talks about this. The next Nama in this slokam, Pancha Preda Manjadi Sayini. Name is suggesting that Devi is actually replaying. You can see the picture here. She is reclining on a couch which are formed of corpses. Pretam. Brahma and the 3 other gods, Vishnu, Rudra, and Ishvara, are the 4 legs of this couch. And Sadashiva is the mattress. She is sitting on top of Sadashiva. Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, and Ishvaran and Sadashivan are termed as Preta. Why? Because they are unable to do their respective functions. Bhairavya Mala is quoted by Bhaskaraya. Shivatmake Mahamanche Mahesnopavarhane Mridukacha Chadushpadaha Katipucha Sadashivaha Tatra Chete Maheshani Mahatri Tripura Sundari Shivatmake Mahamanche Mahamancham. Mancham is the mattress. Shivatmake Mahamanche Mahe Sanopa Bhargane Mridukacha Chatushpadaha Katipuche Sadashivaha Tatra Chete Maheshani Mahatripura Sundari. On that great and pleasant couch whose pillow is Maheshana, 4 legs, Brahma, etc., and whose mattress Sadashiva, is reclining who? Mahatripura Sundari, the great queen. Nama is discussed in Saundarya also. From verse 92 onwards. It's more like prayers. Gadaste manjatvam durhina hari sudreshwara britaha shivaha swastachaya gatita kapata prichatpataha swadiyanam basam pritipalan ragana rutaya shariri sringaro rasaiva drisham dokti kutukam. Actually, this should normally be a song, but I'm just reciting as a slogam. Where also it says Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Ishvara have taken the shape of 4 legs, and Sadashiva himself is becoming a bedspread, reflecting the glory, the crimson glory of Devi. Very nice in Saundarya Lahari. So This completes verse number 174. We'll go on to 175 now. Sorry. Panchami Panchabhutesi Panchasankyopacharini Shaswati Saswata Aisarya Sharmada Shambhu Mohini. Panchami, everybody knows that means fifth. So in the order of Brahma Vishnu group of deities, Sadashiva is the fifth. And therefore his spouse is Panchami. The Sutta Samhita says even Sadashiva, the fifth, requires the help of mother. Rudra is the best of the three, the supreme Shiva, the possessor of Maya. Sadashiva, who is the mother, is permanent, is the possessor of Maya. And Varahi Devi is also known as Panchami. Panchami forms a part of one of the Varahi mantras. One among the 7 Saptamatas, And in that Saptamata, Varahi is the fifth in the order. Therefore, it is called Panchami. Panchabhutesi. Panchabhutangal we know. There are 5 elements. Panchabhutesi is ruler of the 5 elements. So Amba is the ruler of 5 elements. In Taittiriya Upanishad says, Sattam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, which means truth, knowledge. And infinite is the Brahman, Anantam Brahman. Upanishad also says, from the Brahman comes space, from space, Vayu, from Vayu, Agni, from Agni, Apo, water, from water, earth, and so on. The Upanishad says that all 5 elements originated from the Brahman, as Amba is the Brahman herself. So this Nama says that she is the embodiment of those 5 elements. Panchabhuta, 5-fold. Shaswati Panchasankhyopacharini. But I would like to say Panchasankhyopacharini is worship with 5 services or courtesies or Panchopacharam. In daily puja you do the Panchopacharam, Gandha, Pushpa, Dhupa, Deepa, Naivedyam, right? Which are generally offered for daily puja to any deity. So Amba is worshipped by these 5 types of offerings such as Gandham, which is sandal paste, Pushpam, flowers, Dhupam is incense, you have the Dhupam. Deepam is light we show. Naivedyam, the food we announce. Each of them represent one of the elements. Yeah? Like Prithvi, earth, Akasham, ether, Vayu, air, Agni, fire, and water. So Panchasankhyopacharini is worshipped with 5 services or 5 different offerings. Shaswati. Shaswatam is also said in Tamil. Shaswatama irkana apdi solradhu. Eternal. Shaswati means eternal. Amba is eternal. Shaswat also means frequently, which means she is worshipped continuously by her devotees. Shaswata Aishwarya, which means Shaswatam is eternal. Aishwarya is the dominion which is referring to the 5 corpses that from former seat. Pancha Pretara is the underlying meaning. The other meaning is permanent wealth. Shaswata Aishwarya. Aishwarya is wealth. But here it's got 2 meanings. One is she is dominating over the 5 corpses, 5 pretas. The other one is Shaswata Aishwarya. She's always giving eternal wealth. She is the embodiment of eternal wealth. Sharmada. Sharman means joy, bliss, comfort, delight, happiness, different meanings. Sanskrit is such a language that one word can represent many meanings. And one object can have many names also. Like water has got more than 60 names. This Nama we can interpret as Ambal gives eternal happiness. Sarmada means one who gives eternal happiness. Shambhu Mohini, very easy to understand. She is the one who charms Shambhu. Ambal charms Shambhu. Who is Shambhu? Shiva was seated as Dakshinamurti under a banyan tree. He was called Shambhu. Why? Sam means eternal bliss. Bhu means to create. The source for eternal bliss or eternal joy is Shambhu. That source of joy is Shambhu. Some people have name as Shambhasivan also, right? Shambhu. But this joyful source called Shambhu is stationed at one place. He is not moving. Totally silent. Now, if he is going to be like this, how can he impart knowledge to humanity? It requires moving around, talking to people, participating in discussions and so on. So Shambhu, the source for eternal joy, decided to become the creator of joy by moving around and imparting knowledge to people and winning over in debates, and became Shankara, Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara is an avataram of Dakshinamurti. Shambhu becomes Shankara. It's just Shambhu Shankara, isn't it? In Rudram, we say this, right? Namo Hantravecha Haniyase Namo Vrishebhyo Harikeshebhyo Namastaraya Nama Shambhavecha Mayobavecha Nama Shankaraya Namaskaraya Nama Shivaya Sivataraya. Right? Namastaraya Nama Shambhavecha Mayobavecha. Who comes first? Shambhu. Shambhavecha. Nama Shankaraya Mayaskaraya. Next comes Shankara. Second. Namah Shivaya Sivataraya. Then comes Shiva. So in that order, you can Shambhu, Shankara, and then Shiva Panchaksharam, Namah Shivaya, which are obtained from the teaching of the Guru in that order. So this is a great name called Shambhu Mohini. And Shambhu is referring to Dakshinamurti, and then becomes Adi Shankara. Dara Darasuta Danya Dharmani Dharmavardhini Lokatita Gunatita Sarvatita Samatmika. Slokam number 176. Dara, I think you mentioned Ambal is in the form of Prithvi, earth. She is the goddess earth and supporter of the universes, Dhara, which I mentioned earlier itself. No need to explain it further. Dhara Suta. Suta means daughter. She is the daughter of Himavan. And Dhanya. Dhanam means wealth. People keep name Dhana Lakshmi, right? Which means one who has a lot of wealth. In Bhaskaraya quotes Bhavishyottara Purana. He says there are 4 kinds of thoughts which arise in the last stage of one's life. They're called Artha, Raudra, Dhanya, and Shukla. Artha is the thought which arises through kind of illusion, that desire to possess worldly materials, worldly pleasure, women, sons, garlands, jewels, cloths, ornaments, whatever you can think of. Artha. Dharmartha Kama Moksham, you see, Artha. Raudra is said to be that meditation in which arises desire and not indifference. Though somebody must have experienced from various kinds of calamities like bodily injury, fire, beating, cruelty, jail, and so on, that becomes in their mind, Raudra. And that is the last stage of one's life. These kind of thoughts also can arise. And Dhanya is that thought which comes from the Upanishad by the performance of great vows about the cause of bondage and tranquility and so on. Compassion. And Shukla, that which comes from the practice of yoga, the real yoga, the inner self is fixed with the reality of Brahman. So those are the 4 different kinds of thoughts that come in the mind of man before he dies. And what are the results also mentioned in the same Purana? The man who practices Artha become tiryak. Tiryak means those animals, which grow this way, elongation, not taller, but they grow lengthwise. They are born as such animals or birds or even minerals. Raudra people, they descend even lower. The one who practices Danya, he becomes Devas, attains good results. And one of Shukla, the last kind of thought, totally freed from future births. Like Jnanis, they have this. Therefore, meditation, we should always cultivate the Shukla state, which removes the pain of rebirth and enables one to cross the ocean of existence, which calms patient. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, the verse 5, Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati sa madbhavam yati naschatra samsayah. Antakale cha mamyeva sparanam. In the final moments, those who remember me at the time of death will come to me. There is certainly no doubt about this. Yati nastraya samsayaha. And he assures there is no doubt. That is why we say we should always remember good things. Yam yam vapis param bhavam tajayante kalevaram tam tam aiveti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitam. Whatever one remembers at the time of death, yam yam japis param bhavam tajayante kalevaram, one who relinquishes life. In that state, he will be absorbed in such thoughts. That is why we always say in Sanatana Dharma, develop the habit of praying and always engage in divine thought, positive thoughts. Keep on thinking positive and you engage your mind in that. Even at the end of the life, the same thing prevails and gives you a better life, maybe a next birth or maybe no birth at all. Dharmini. Dharmini, we say Saha Dharmini. See, referring to the wife, Saha Dharmini, one who follows. Dharmini, one who follows righteous. So Ambal is always following the righteous way. Dharma Vardhani. Dharma Samvardhani is the deity in Tiruvayar. Those who may not know that. Panchanadishwarar, Panchanadi flows there in Tiruvayar. Recently we had that Aradhana, Tyagaraja Swami Aradhana. So Dharma Samvardhani is the name of the Ambal there. Dharma Vardhani. Vriddhi is to increase. Ambal is one who increases Dharma. That's why she called Dharma Vardhani. Lokatita. Lokatita means Loka means world and Tita means transcending. Ambal is beyond the worlds. Which world? Loka, Indra, Vishnu Loka, transcend. She is residing in the city of Parameshwara called Mahakailasha. So she is beyond all the worlds. Gunatita. She is also transcending guna, quality or attributes. Ambal is beyond attributes. Sarvatita. Sarva means all. Transcending all. Spara Brahman. There is nothing beyond. Samatmika. Shama means tranquility. Ambal is kind of Shanta Swarupini. Sama means tranquilizing, softening. Prapanchopasamam sivam shantam advaitam chaturtam manyante. Nrsimhatapiniyam. So she is the embodiment of tranquility. Going further, let's go to the next 177 slokam. Bandhuga kusuma prakya bala lila vinodini sumangali sukagari suesha atta suvasini. Bandhuga kusuma. Bandhuga is a kind of a flower, Bandhuga tree is in Bengal and the flower is very red. So Ambal is of that color. Bandhuga kusuma prakya. In Bala, Bala means a little girl. Bala Leela Vishwatat Baleti Gatita Priye. The Tripura Siddhanta says you are playing like a child, therefore you are called Bala. Ambal is called Balambika. As a 9-year-old girl. Ya Sada Navavarshaya Sarva Vidya Mahakani. Balambika. Leela Vinodini. Leela, Lalita itself is play. Leela means playing. Vinodini enjoys it. She enjoys the play. Leela is a beautiful name. Some people have the name. Taking pleasure in amusement. Leela is also the name of a king called Padmaraja. Vinodini is that she leads that queen into right direction, right action. The story goes that Leela Devi worshipped Saraswati and she pleased her so much that she received knowledge from Saraswati. And she brought back her dead husband to life. The word Leela is taken as a separate name. It means Lakshmi. Devi Puranam explains that Lakshmi is called Leela because she plays Lanana. Lanana means playing. So there are different interpretations that she was the wife of Padmaraja, and since she brought back her husband to life by worshipping Saraswati, she called Leela Vinodini. And Leela Vinodini is also a name given to Lakshmi because she plays. Sumangali, very beautiful name. Su means very auspicious, beautiful. Mangala, Brahman. Sarva Mangala Mangalya, we say. Vishnu Puranam says that by remembering which drives away misfortune from men and gives benefit. That supreme Brahman is known as Mangala. The elders married, bless married women as Dirga Sumangali Bhava, isn't it? Sukakari. Sukha means happiness. Ambal always gives happiness, no doubt about it. So called Sukakari. Subeshatya. Beautiful dresses she wears. That's why I think women like to decorate themselves with saris and ornaments. Being a Ambal Swarupam, they love the dresses and ornaments, Alankaram, Subeshatya. And Suvasini, always ever married. Suvasini is a woman whose husband is living. The next sloka is Suvasin Archana Prita. Suvasin Archana Prita Ashobana Suddha Manasa Bindu Tarpana Santushta Purja Tripurambika. Suvasin Archana Prita is pleased by the worship of Suvasinis, married woman. Lalita Sahasranama is specially meant for Suvasinis. We do so many Suvasini pujas now in many temples. Nowadays it is very popular. And Suvasinis are considered an amsam of Ambal and worship. Ashobana, always beautiful, ever beautiful. Shobana is the name also, a feminine name. And Saudara Lagri, it has two parts. Ananda Lagri is 1 to 41 slokams, and Saudara Lagri, which is from 40 to 100. The first 41 verses, they talk about bliss and other things. And the next 59, they talk about Ambal's beauty. Suddha Manasa. Suddha Manasa is very easy to understand, pure-minded. Ambal can be realized only with a pure mind. Your mind should not wander here and there. Keep your cell phone away, switched off, and then focus. That's how you can say Suddha Manasa. Bindu Tarpana Santushta, pleased by the offerings in the Bindu. Bindu is the central point of Sri Chakra. Offering Argya on the Bindu is called Tarpana. Now this Tarpana is Argya on the Bindu by the 4 Varnas, Brahmanas with milk, Kshatriyas with ghee, Ghritam, Vaishyas with honey, and by the 4th Varna with mead. Bindu is also meaning wise people, Pandita, and she is pleased by their offering. Bindu Tarpana Santushta. Very happy with Bindu Tarpana Santushta. Purvaja. Purvaja means firstborn, the very firstborn. Tripurambika. Tripurambika is the presiding deity of the 8th Avarana, the Sri Chakra. Zavarana is the innermost triangle of Sri Chakra, amidst of which central point is Bindu. Going further, let's go to the next verse. Dasha Mudra Samaradya Tripura Sri Sankari Jnana Mudra Jnana Gamya Jnana Geya Swarupini. Dasha Mudra Samaradya. Worship by 10 mudras. Dasha means 10. What are mudras? You know, they are positions of fingers which are practiced in worship. The 10 mudras are from Sanshobhani to Trikanda. They are the means by which Ambal is regularly worshipped in a particular manner. Now, Sri Chakra has 9 coverings of avaranas, Navavaranas, and each of them is ruled by a Shakti, a deity. Each of the Shaktis has a mudra, and therefore there are 9 mudras. In the 9th avarana, Lalitambika is worshipped with Yoni mudra. In all 10 mudras you have got. Tripura, Shiva Shankari, the ruler of Tripura. Tripura Sundari is the name of the deity which presides over the 5th chakra. Those of you who are familiar, there is a temple in Tiruvuttiur in Chennai. Very famous temple of Tyagaraja and Tripura Sundari. Now, Tyagaraja Swamigal, he was there. He composed 5 beautiful songs on Pancharatnam on goddess Tripura Sundari. It is all inscribed on the walls of the temple. If you go there, so beautifully inscribed. Dari nitalu sukundi Tripura Sundari nitalu sukundi. Tyagaraja Swami sings this beautiful song, Suddha Saveri Ragam, such a beautiful song. That deity is Tripura Sundari. Jnana Mudra. Jnana Mudra is formed by joining the tips of the thumb and the 4 fingers to make a circle or extending the other fingers. Jnana. That's why you find, deities, the Muni is having fingers like this. Jnana Mudra. So Jnana is knowledge. And Mudra. Mud is bliss. Ra is she gives. So this Nama describes Ambal as the symbol of knowledge, the one she gives bliss. Jnana Gamya, baby is attained by knowledge. Jnana Gneya Swarupini, Jnana Agneya. Both Jnana means knowledge, and Ajnana means no knowledge or not knowing anything. So Ambal is approached through knowledge and not knowing also. The previous Nama said she can be approached only through knowledge. But here she can be approached by knowledge and with no knowledge also. That means by those even ignorant of knowledge, Ambal can be approached. Jnana Gaya Swarupini, she is a form of knowledge as well as no knowledge. And last, we are coming to the last slokam of this evening. Yoni Mudra Trikanteshi Triguna Ampa Trikonaka Anakatputa Charitra Vanchita Artha Pradajini. Yoni Mudra, I mentioned this is a 9th Mudra. She also gives happiness in the womb. Yoni is also referring to the womb. It is a veil which covers the Bindu. Trikandeshi, ruler of Trikanda. Trikanda is the 10th Mudra. Or Trikanda means the 3 divisions of Panchadasa Mantra. 3 gunams, 3 qualities. What are the 3 qualities? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. We all know that. She is the deity, Devi, endowed with all these 3 qualities of Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. Amba. Triguna Amba. Amba is a separate name. Mother. I mentioned before the very first name in Lalitha Sahasranama, Om Sri Mata. So she is a mother. No doubt about that. Again, it is described as Amba. Trikonaka. Presiding in the 3 konam means triangle. residing in the triangle. Trikona, Yoni Sakra. Anaga. Agam means sin, papam, misery. Anaga means sinless, no papam. Adbhuta Charitra. Adbhuta means wonderful, wonderful. Charitra. Charitra is referring to history, deeds. Devi, whose history, whose activities or deeds are wonderful. Adbhuta Charitra. She has a history of creating wonderful wonders. Vanchitartha Pradayini. Vanchitartha Pradayini, whatever you want, she bestows it. He gives you whatever you want, desired. You want the latest Mercedes Benz or BMW, she will give you. I guarantee that. I have seen it happen. But you have to really pray hard on that and have a very sincere prayer. And she will definitely give you what you want, bestowing the desired deeds. So today we are now coming to the end of the session 19. We started from the sloka 171, Nama 923. Now today we're ending with slokam 180 in Nama 989. So we covered about 10 slokas and 66 namas. So in our next session in this long series, which will be session 20 next month, Sunday, February 19th, will be the concluding session to conclude this long series. So we have covered it. So we covered 19, now 20th will be the last session, where I'd like to conclude the Lalitha Sahasranama and also tell you the Phalashruti, the benefits coming in. So please be sure to participate in the concluding session. I will be away in India next month, and hopefully we'll make a suitable time, or I can record it and send it across so that you can, show it to put it on the screen at the appropriate time on February 19th. Yeah. So meantime, let me wish you again a very happy festive season, happy Pongal and Makar Sankranti. And as usual, I'll complete my concluding prayers. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Saranye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Parashakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Parashakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Parashakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om. Om Shakti Pradapa Paripalayantam Nyaye Namarye Namahi Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhyuk Subhamastanityam Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskaram to all.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wonderful. Jammunathan, before, do you want to say a few words? I have a few things I will mention after that.
Namaskaram, Mama. Thank you very much. Happy Pongal, and thank you for taking us all along from Dakshina to Vanchidartha Pradayini today. And, I think if you give the correct Dakshina, we will get the Vanchidartham, I guess. So, very nice of all the Panchami, Panchabhuteshi, nice explanations, Mama. Thank you for all the quotes and, giving all these nice explanations. And, hopefully you will come back after your India trip and enlighten us on Devi Mahatmyam after that. And thank you very much. And Somaji, you can take over.
Oh, thank you so much. That's wonderful. I think exactly correct.
Welcome.
We started off with Dakshina, right? Dakshina, you get three meanings. One was the south, other was right, and third is a Dakshina. We give it two things. And Dakshina, it's also Pradakshina.
Yeah.
So that also comes saying that some of us may not know which side to go. For kids, I always say Pradakshina, right. Make sure the deity is to your right. So that's how we do the Pradakshina, to do that piece. That's a very nice thing. And pra means round, correct. Pra means round and Dakshina means to your right. So keep that to your right. That's a beautiful way to start. And as Jammunathan D said, you end up with Vanchitartha Pradayini for Thai Paranda Varikon. So it's like beautifully said. Vanchitartham, let's hope we all gain that. That's Namba will give all the thing to that. One other point we talked about was this Kaivalya Pada or ice, like Visalakshi.
Yes.
So somebody said, how come you put Visalakshi and Kanchi in Varna? I mean, in Varanasi, you put Visalakshi in Varanasi, and that Soundarya you mentioned it. In Soundarya one of the beautiful slokas talking about Amba's eyes is talked about Triveni Sangamam.
Yes.
Triveni Sangamam, it says that you can see the whiteness of Ganga, like with foam.
Yes.
You see the darker Yamuna,
Yes.
but you also like her eyeballs in the thing. So they said Triveni Sangamam is ice. And Saraswati, what you don't see is the nice red color, pink color Saraswati. Some people could see it. That's like the very similar to your eyes. You say that piece. And if you say your head is somewhere out in the sky and you see eyes right in Varanasi, it's such a beautiful depth in which they give. And so we enjoyed all your meanings with so many meanings for each words, right? I mean, 5 different meanings for Vimanasta, 4 different Vyomakeshi, all those things. Enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Looking forward. And I think if you're in India next week, and if there are connectivity issues or something, we can do it on March. Otherwise, as of now, we'll plan to do it in February. And I think if you can come live, that's the easiest way to do that. If you can do that, we'll continue to finish it off that way. We can do it. And the Jammunathan said, before you came, we were talking to see if we need to delay that Sunday and start at 6:30 p.m. or 6:45, 7
Yeah,
p.m.
I think that we might have to do it. Like, for example, if it is a morning, Monday morning for Mama, it will be Sunday evening for us. Maybe time it like that, something like that.
Yes, that would be, I think, convenient for all. I think then we'll make it at 7 p.m. or something. Then it will be okay. And 19th, there is no other puja or something at the temple. I haven't seen it, but right now we'll plan for 7 p.m. on February 9th.
Yeah, tentatively you can make it 7 p.m. And I am told the connectivity is quite good. They have high-speed internet there, and I have, I think, a fiber cable. Airtel is providing me at the apartment. So hopefully it should not give me any problem, but I will confirm it to you. And we will tentatively fix at 7 p.m. your time.
Correct.
And it would mean morning for me. That's not a problem. Okay.
Very good. Very good. And
Okay,
then if
thank you, Mama. Have a safe trip.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you want to stop sharing, we'll have Sanjuda ji finish off with the concluding prayers here.
Yeah.
You have to stop sharing there if you can. So, Mama, ungaloda stop share panikongo.
Right.
You are still sharing. Yeah.
I'll do that.
Sanjuda, if you're still on, please go ahead.
Yes.
मंगलम गुरु श्री चंद्रमौलीश्वर के शक्ति गणपति शारदांबिके शंकराचार्यर के शक्ति गणपति महागणपति शारदांबिके के काल भैरव के काली दुर्गै के वीर धीर शूर हनुम मारुति चरणतिर्के मल्लिकार्जुनर के செல்வ ஜனார்தனர் கே அம்பா பவானி கம்பத கணபதி சண்டி சாமுண்டி கே ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ண பகவான் கே ஸ்ரீ சக்கரவாசினி கே சீதாராம லக்ஷ்மண சகித மாருதி சரணத்திற்கே வித்யாரண்யர் கே विद्याशंकर के वागीश्वरी के वज्रदेग गरुड़ आंजनेयर के श्रीवल्ली देव सेना समेत सुब्रमण्यर के तुंगभद्रै के श्रृंगनिवासिनी के श्रृंगेरी पुरिயில் நிலைத்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகை के सच्चिदानंद शिव अभिनव नृसिंह भारती के श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु सार्वभौमर के श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु विद्यातीर्थर के श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु भारती तीर्थर के श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु विदुशेखर भारती के मंगलम गुरु श्री चंद्रमौलीश्वर के शक्ति गणपति शारदाम्बिक शंकराचार्य के शक्ति गणपति महागणपति शारदाம்பிகை के Sringeri புரியில் நிறைந்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே.
Also, thank you, Sindhuja ji, for covering for Tim Sundar.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sindhuja. Thank you all. Happy Makar Sankranti, happy Pongal, and see you all next week.